それでも言いたいこの僕に何ができるって言うんだ。窮屈なへ口に立たされた時不安な僕の腕をつかみ、自分自身のありかが初めて見えたんだ。もっと広いフィールドへもっと深い大きなどこかへ予測もつかない世界へ向かってゆくだけ。
What the fuck is this shit?
Commander Torres, this is nothing for you to be concerned with. However, this ability to self-recover, allowing Sunrise and its Gundam franchise to keep on resurrecting. I'm positive they have acquired the abilities of the franchise revival with the help of Imagawa! This hand of mine burns with an awesome power! Its burning tells me to review this series. Take this! Hello and welcome to Mecha Anime Reviews! And today, we're going to take a look at Mobile Fighter G Gundam! Wow, almost strained my voice there. First, some background. After Victory Gundam, Tomino was kicked out of the franchise by Sunrise. Considering the problems that were going on in its production, this was probably a wise decision. Sunrise decided to create a new show, this time not taking place in the Universal Century, to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the Gundam franchise. They brought over most of the crew from Victory and handed over the director reins to a new face, believing that since Tomino was gone, they could control the new director and have him just use the show to sell more Gunpla models. However, there was one problem with their plan. The guy they picked to direct was none other than Yasuhiro Imagawa. He took control of production and drastically changed the entire plot of the show into what we have today. Anyway, let's get this thing started. Gundam review all set? Ready? Go! So long, Universal Century. From here on out, it's the alternate universe shows. It is the year 0060 of the future century. Many years ago, people left the Earth to live in giant orbiting space colonies. To prevent wars from breaking out, they devised a competition called the Gundam Fight, in which every 4 years each nation would create their own Gundams and send them out into battle. The last one that stands determines which colony would gain control of the government. Currently, it is the year of the 13th Gundam Fight. The story follows Neo Japan's Gundam fighter, Domon Kashu. He enters the tournament along with his childhood friend, Rain Mikamura, to pursue his brother Kyoji, who had stolen an experimental Gundam prototype known as the Dark Gundam. You can tell this isn't going to be a normal Gundam series when the guy who steals the Gundam prototype from the government is the villain this time around. However, as the series progresses, secrets are revealed, more characters are introduced, and the plot is taken through various twists and turns, as Domon goes from a vengeful jackass into a humble hero and falls in love with Rain. The animation is pretty good. It looks nice, if a bit average. The music is pretty good too, often being memorable and awesome. The English dub is done by Blue Water Studios. It's a lot like Giant Robos in the sense that it isn't exactly good, but it's so campy and over the top that it becomes so bad it's good in a way. The acting is cheesy, but it sort of works with the nature of the show. The best actor is probably Mark Gatha, whom Mega Man fans might recognize as the voice of Mega Man X from Maverick Hunter, and the voice of the annoying karate teacher who slaps Camille in the first episode of Zeta Gundam. The rest of the actors start off a little rocky, but soon developed into their roles and do semi-decent performances. The odd voice that stands out is Carol Ann Day as Allenby Beardsley. Not because it's a bad performance, far from it, but because she also played for Murasame in the dub of Zeta Gundam, another blue-haired pilot who is also a romantic interest to the main character. I just thought it was a weird coincidence. Gundam has always had a bit of a super robot influence throughout the years, though this one is the first and only Gundam show to actually revel in the traditional super robot tropes and cliches. Whether you like the show or not depends on whether you can accept a Gundam series that is basically a cross between Street Fighter and Axis Powers Italia. Gundam! Stop! Ow! Okay, I'll stop, jeez. Anyway, the show shares a lot of the strengths and weaknesses of Imagawa's work. The action is pretty freaking awesome. The mecha fights are gleefully over the top and embrace the super robot aesthetic, being exciting and interesting. The action itself is grounded by an amazing cast of characters. At first, they seem like generic stereotypes, but they turn out to have depth and development, which fleshes them out and makes them awesome. It probably helps that the series has the best Gundam romance ever, between Domon and Rain. Though, given the competition, it doesn't really take too much effort. They don't fall in love right away, they take time and some development on both ends to do so. We see why these two would fall in love, and when they get together it doesn't feel forced, it flows naturally. It also has two of the best Gundam villains ever, the Dark Gundam for being a creepy mechanical monstrosity, and another one who I won't mention given he's revealed to be evil too late in the series to be casually revealed. Let's just say he's a badass and has an interesting relationship with Domo. But still, even with the super robot aspects, it's still a Gundam series. It may not be about war, but it does deal with some of the themes from Gundam. Most importantly, having a strong environmental message. The main bad guy for the majority of the show wanted to utilize the power of Dark Gundam, despite being, evil, because he felt a deep shame and sorrow over the destruction of the Earth's environment, caused by the Gundam fight. The only problem is that he felt the only way to restore nature was to get rid of humanity, much like Char did in Char's counterattack. However, he is proven wrong by Domo, saying that humans were created on Earth and thus are part of the Earth as well. To destroy humanity would be to destroy a part of nature. We must accept responsibility for our damage to the Earth, but we don't deserve to be destroyed for our crimes. We can always try better next time if we admit our mistake and try to correct it. Much like how at the end the heroes vow to improve the Gundam fight system to reduce the damage to the Earth. There are a few problems with the series though. The characters and their Gundams can be seen as offensive by some people, since they're mostly over-the-top stereotypes of every nation in the world. Me personally, I'm just offended that there isn't a Puerto Rican Gundam. I would have loved to have seen what crazy design they would have gone with it. There are some points in this series where it kinda stalls a little bit, and much like in Giant Robo, the Dark Gundam, despite being an awesome bad guy, is also annoying in how it keeps coming back to life. It takes about 3 times in order to properly kill it off. The biggest problem I have with the series, and pretty much a minor one, the last 5 episodes felt a little forced and contrived in some areas, feeling like the show was supposed to end earlier but was extended for whatever reason. Anyway, aside from its faults, G Gundam is a masterpiece. It's got everything, good story, good action, a good cast, and it's just pure unadulterated awesome. Oh well, see you next time on the next Mecha Anime Reviews, as we continue Gundam Month with a look at Gundam Wing.